Compared to places like Oregon, absolutely. Oregon has probably one of the weirdest ways that a state was set up, almost exclusively to exclude African Americans. That is also not to say that everything was done rosy and cheery in Kansas, especially concerning the exodusters. One thing we also need to remember is that most of the African Americans who came to Kansas, especially those leaving the South, had this perception of Kansas being an anti-slavery stronghold. They were influenced by John Brown. They were influenced by the Beecher Bible Church. These people who were against slavery, and so they saw Kansas as a place that would be more tolerant of African Americans, especially compared to the South at the time. Even with all that being said, you do see some conflict between settlers who already exist in the region and settlers who come in. Dunlap is a perfect example of this.
Located about 9 miles southeast of Council Grove, the city of Dunlap was originally established by a call mission agent for white settlement.
One of the first places that Benjamin Pap Singleton is going to look to have exodusters move to is the city of Dunlap in Kansas. And that does cause some friction, especially amongst the white settlers. When the first settlers arrive in 1878, they are going to be met with a relatively cold shoulder, and they are going to establish their own churches, own businesses, and a segregated society does exist. However, as time goes on, there are going to be academies that are opened up. There are going to be other things that happen to where the white population and the African-American population of Dunlap start interacting more with one another. And by the end of World War I in 1918, they don't have segregation. Children are attending the same schools. They're eating at the same tables together. There's soda fountains where African Americans and white Americans are dining, eating, and taking part of all together. And it was kind of held up as just great success for what Pap Singleton wanted. You have white Americans and African Americans working, eating, dining together one by one. And Dunlap was enjoying economic success, not due to this, but part of the reasons why was because it has a really good headwaters on the Neosho River, and for Morris counties and other counties that kind of surrounded it, it was a way for them to ship things on the Neosho River to get them to market. So it kind of has a booming economy. Unfortunately, by the 1930s, you're going to have the Dust Bowl take place, and that just wrecks the entire farm economy, not just in Kansas, but almost in the entire United States. Because of that, you have a lot of businesses shut down, and Dunlap itself today is a ghost town. Prior to all that happening, it was unsegregated before Brown versus the Board of Education. It was probably one of the few towns in Kansas that had no segregation, and that you do see racial harmony taking place. So, more on exodusters and more on Pap Singleton tomorrow.